Welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Dad Jokes.
Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Morning Dad Jokes. I am Tom.
And I'm Mike.
Here we are again, episode
31.
31. Time flies.
Time flies. It's like we lost time somehow.
We did. That's okay. It's technically today is Super Bowl weekend.
Oh, is it Super Bowl weekend?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. I knew the Olympics was happening. I had a friend come over the other night and I said, "Hey, you want to watch the Olympics?" And they're like, "No." Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I know you're really into sports.
Yeah. I don't watch a lot of sports. I think I've read somewhere that maybe something attached to discussions of the pandemic and the Super Bowl, but I didn't know when it was.
Gotcha.
Who's playing? The Orioles?
The Orioles, yeah. The Rams and the Bengals. I do
The
know
Rams.
that.
Oh, yeah, I think I knew the Bengals were in it when maybe we were in high school or something.
I don't know. I know that now that I'm a Ohioan, I'm obligated to root for them right now.
Okay.
So, but it's nice. I mean, there's a lot of excitement in my area, especially considering I live in Southwest Ohio. So,
Okay.
excited for them. Sorry, it's not the Ravens, which is who I root for normally.
Right.
But yeah. But I don't know the last time they were in the Super Bowl, or I couldn't tell you anything. And definitely not the Rams. I don't know much about them at all, other than yeah, they're in the NFC, which is the other part of the league.
Okay. I was unaware that this was Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
Well,
So there's your time marker. But I think you've got like a pre-digested you wanted to share.
yes. So I guess I'll go ahead and introduce this a little bit. So this is something different. um, I would say I'm a pretty massive He-Man fan. And when I say He-Man fan, specifically only the original run. I have little time for really anything else. I didn't. I know there was a sci-fi version that came out in the late '80s. I never watched. I did watch. There was a Cartoon Network reboot, maybe in the 2000s. I haven't seen any of the new Kevin Smith stuff. I wasn't really interested because I heard it was largely about the trauma that various He-Man characters went through. I've heard mixed things about it, to be fair, but it just didn't really interest me. But I love the old Masters of the Universe cartoons, and I will also just kind of say that they are, by and large, I mean, if you've never watched them, you've probably seen clips of them online, but they were dumb even then. And I don't know what it is that appeals to me about them, but they also appeal to my wife heavily. She loves watching them. We always kind of laugh at them. Anyway, we were watching an episode last night. This episode 60, Search of the VHO, which is near the tail end of season 1. And my suspicion is in particular about that episode that it feels like it was probably cobbled together from 2 different storylines, maybe 3. I haven't actually read up on it. I have a large compendium that explains where certain episodes were cobbled together, but it feels like one of the cobbled together episodes, like where there's like this one storyline and it meets this other storyline. Anyway, He-Man cracks a joke in it. I hope I didn't give it away. I thought, hey, we should play this joke from Search of VHO, episode 60, season 1 of He-Man and Masters of the Universe.
I will attempt to play that now.
Sorry I took so long.
He's gone after the Kraken.
Then we better get cracking.
It's another Kraken joke. I give He-Man props for making a Kraken joke.
Yeah, it was, and I small correction. The episode is Search for the VHO.
Okay.
Not of. Search for the VHO. Yes. Another Kraken joke, and I don't know what episode I made a Kraken joke on.
Yeah.
But
We have in the past. There's been at least one.
I did one anyway. So, I mean, my wife and I both had our feelings about this joke when it rolled out, and I'm curious what you think.
I mean, I think
is it a dad joke?
it's definitely a dad joke. So
It's definitely a dad joke.
yeah, it's definitely like a He-Man. The writers that were doing it at the time, clearly somebody was a dad. I would say it's a solid 3.
I think that's probably accurate. It's a 3 for me because it was a groaner. Like he delivered it, and I think simultaneously my wife and I were like, "Oh man, oh really?"
Yeah.
Really, man.
Yeah.
Tila didn't groan.
It was right. It was a different time though, of course, because she at that point she wouldn't be allowed to groan.
It was a different time.
She would just be expected to, at least in the show, to be able to kind of suck it up and deal with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I saw that episode when it came out because I watched all the He-Mans when I was younger.
Yeah.
I don't know that I picked up on that at the time, or even noted it at the time. I think a lot of the stuff was over my head when I watched it as a kid, but maybe. But yeah, it's a solid 3, and obviously safe for all audiences, unless you're a Kraken.
Yes, it is safe. It is safe for most audiences.
Yeah.
There were some other problems in that episode that my wife was like, "F no."
Like inappropriate? You mean like in terms of not?
Yeah. At one point, Tila she's trapped in the glass,
Mm-hmm.
and then Merman, who He-Man is fighting, plays a villain in the show. For those who aren't familiar with it, Merman and He-Man agree to fight for Tila, and my wife she was like, "No." Woman should not be a prize.
True.
So that part was a little dated, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is an old show. It's now
It's an old
not
show.
to excuse it, but it is. God, how old is it? 84, 83. That episode aired in
Yeah, 36 years old, 37 years old.
November 25th, 1983.
Oh,
That show aired.
almost like it's getting close to, hitting the big 4-0.
Hit the big 4-0, right? We're talking like when we were kids, it would have been Howdy Doody.
Oh, geez, yeah. Wow, ouch.
That is yes, that has happened.
Yeah. No, I liked it. It kind of the outdatedness, and it would not fly in current times. Tone that we're talking about kind of also reminded me of the shirt I'm wearing today, which you can't see, but it's a Wright State shirt, and it says "Man Up" on it, and I'm like, man, there's a shirt that didn't age well.
It's like what were those series of shirts? I mean, even then they were kind of weird. There were a couple, but there was one that was very co-ed, naked, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like that series of I feel like maybe it was a brand.
Maybe.
And then we had there was a bar in the resort town where we grew up by called Big Peckers.
Oh yeah. And brass balls. Yeah.
Brass Ball Saloon,
Yeah.
that stuff. I'm guessing they're probably those places are probably still around doing well.
I think brass balls is. I'm not sure about Big Peckers, but yeah. Serious. I looked it up within the last couple of years because I was curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do really good cheesy bread.
Yeah. Right. I like
It's
their I like their
what people used to
margaritas.
say about Hooters.
Right.
Oh yeah, they do really good wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I remember hearing that too. I take my kids there.
Good. You're good parenting right there.
It's family safe.
Family safe.
Yeah, right. Go ahead. Try to convince me. Tom Pizzetti.
Yeah, he was a Styx fan, wasn't he?
He was. He's also kind of guy that I think would make that claim that Hooters is a family establishment. So, and if he hears this, I'm fine with it.
Right.
Comment below.
Yeah, please. You can come on and convince us that it is a family establishment.
Yeah, exactly.
It is clearly not.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I like it, and that was definitely not the run of the mill, pre-digested that we've had to pull from in the past.
I
It was
think that
creative.
I think that, because I watch a lot of stuff, I watch a lot of silent movies in my free time, and silent movies, better ones. A lot of people often think that intertitles in silent movies are somehow dialogue or like telling you what's happening in the scene, but it's not actually true. Really clever intertitles sort of operate on their own, and some of the best intertitles that I've seen frequently have pun and wordplay in them. So they operate sort of as their own little joke, detached from the visuals that you're seeing, which
Interesting.
you get the narrative from. But
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, when I saw this the other night, I was like, I should actually pay more attention to this, and maybe I could bring more clips to the show. So my goal will be to potentially, rather than relying on MSN, to try to, as we've hit our monumental 31st episode, to try and innovate.
It's a high bar to keep, Mike. Like to bring media clips into the show.
But I think, if I only have every 2 weeks, if I just, my viewership.
That's true. It is it's right. And I'll just stick with the same old. So I'll keep the bar low for when we do my episode where I had to bring the pre-digested. Yeah.
But so do you have a joke this week?
I do. It is, as usual, something that I fleshed out this morning.
Okay.
And I really, over the last couple of days, this was trying to come up with one. And then finally this morning, I told my wife this joke. So I told her, I said, what do potato farmers call exotic reptilian footwear?
What do potato farmers call exotic reptilian
Footwear.
Mm-hmm. Reptilian.
So the answer is tater gators. But my wife, she didn't find the joke appealing. So there's a couple layers there.
Peeling a potato.
Yeah. So I told my wife this joke.
Tater gators.
Yeah. What do potato farmers call exotic reptilian footwear? Tater
I
gators.
was thinking. I'm a Crocs convert.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since the pandemic and working at home, I'm like all about Crocs. I got line Crocs. I got outdoor Crocs. I got indoor Crocs.
You used to make fun of me for wearing Crocs, by the way.
Oh, no.
Like 15, 20 years ago when I first bought my first pair.
Forget it.
Because I had them back in Maryland when I lived in Seatown when you would come for the Protocon.
Oh, forget it. Yeah, no, I love Crocs. Anyway, so I was thinking, like, is it going to be kind of like a Crocs thing? But,
yeah.
very good.
So it really wasn't a good joke in that originally my wife was like, and she said, this is the best part. She was like sitting on our bed when I was telling her, and she's like, I really don't find it appealing. And then I started laughing, and I was like, you got it. She's like, oh, I didn't even mean to do that. And I was like, you gave me what I need.
That's right. That is true love.
It's true love, and it's like, organic dad joke creation with your spouse, with your partner.
That's a 4. for me. I mean, you just convinced me in your speech.
I know. Like I like sold it like a used car salesman. Or
You did.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'll buy it.
Yeah. Actually, like there's a statement that doesn't have any merit anymore. Like you sold that like a used car salesman. Like used car salesmen don't even have to try to sell cars anymore.
No,
Because like every car known to man right now is like flies off the lot.
it's crazy.
Times are messed up.
Yeah, I'm thinking about. We're trying to. My friends and I. You've helped facilitate this a little bit, but have been trying to get PS5s, and It occurred to me the other day, like there was a time when, you could, like Cabbage Patch dolls or the ET doll, like as kids that like everybody wanted. There would be like a craze at Christmas. You couldn't find something, but now, I mean, it is something has, I mean, fundamentally changed, and
Yes.
maybe for the best, maybe for the best.
Maybe.
But things are things are difficult to get a hold of. And yeah, I'm thinking about just the ways that you are hunting down the PS5 it's pretty complicated.
Yeah.
Like you have to be, you're talking like it's like up there with like filling out your taxes.
Yeah. Probably even a little more complicated, I would say.
More complicated, that doing this process and like to have the savvy to do that. I was looking for my joke. I seem to have lost it. Hopefully I can remember it.
Stall tactic.
So I'm buying time.
Well, and this is the second PS5 that I've been able to acquire.
Yes.
And so, but it was tough. And then in our circle of friends, nobody's been able to get one. So I feel pretty
Nobody
fortunate.
has been able to get one, which is, I mean, that is, yeah, it was just, well, and like you said with the cars, but it occurred to me the other day with the difficulty of, getting this and that, you've helped us out on, you helped me land one, but just how difficult it is. Like times have changed. We are no longer, I don't know, America's not what it was. I'm not saying that it needed, it's all new America. Yeah. America's still America.
However, Central Ohio is going to be part of the solution to making it better for everybody. Have you heard?
No.
So there's a big Intel fabrication facility being built in kind of Central Ohio near Columbus that's going to make semiconductors and chips. And we're actually going to be, I think, once it's complete, I know we will be. We'll be the biggest chip manufacturer in the United States.
Really?
Yep. And
what city is that going to be located?
It's right outside of Columbus. I forget what, like it's a township that they've annexed.
Columbus is a very cool town.
It is. I agree.
I mean, I had friends. So I went to school in Ohio
for your grad degree.
For my graduate degree, and I had a couple friends who relocated to Ohio, and then my sister-in-law also went to Columbus. So I had gone there a couple times, but that always struck me as a very forward-thinking, hip city. Like it almost had kind of like, it's probably not accurate to draw this comparison, but there was something like it could be like its own Portland in a way. Like it had a very interesting scene. A lot of people really loved it. And,
yep. It's one of the most LGBTQ friendly cities in the country. It might be like the top, actually.
No, that was a lot of I had heard that,
which is interesting considering it's in the Midwest.
Considering that it's in the Midwest,
conservative
parts of the Midwest, definitely. I mean, there's some weirdness, but that's thinking about the times. Like God, now we're gonna start living in ideological cities, or there are certain parts of America.
It's true. Yeah, it's very true. But yeah, this fab facility, it's going to take 2 or 3 years to construct, and it's going to cost $2 billion to construct. So it's a big investment for Ohio, and it's going to bring a ton of jobs and industry, and I mean, you can imagine like how that's like getting like an Amazon like headquarters almost.
Right.
So it's a big deal. So we'll see where it goes. But
It is big.
anyway,
And when will it open?
2 years from now, basically, I think is what they're saying. 2 to 3 years, but I think, yeah,
Great.
2025. So by then you'll be able to get your car and your PS5. So if you can just wait for a couple years. So what's your? Did you find your joke, or do I need to?
I do. I just rewrote it.
Oh, okay.
So this is a weird one for me. It's not a joke. It's a piece of wisdom that you can give to somebody. So here it is. I guess I don't know. What would you call that? Like it's just a saying. It's not a joke.
Okay. Okay.
You can lie all you want, but don't lie in your own stink.
You can lie all you want, but don't lie
In your own stink.
in your own stink.
Right. I'm guessing it's not that good. I think you say it to your child
You can lie all you want.
when their room is a disaster. You're like, look, you can lie all you want. Don't lie in your own stink. Clean up your room.
And so, is it not? It is a play on words on lie. Or
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure that's where you're going with it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I dropped the bar there, didn't I?
I'm just playing out in my head. Yeah. So it's like I see this as a motivational saying that you would put up on one of those posters, like in a framed picture in a business.
Yeah.
Like eagles fly higher, and you see a big picture of reach for the
Yes.
stars, and you see and then this one would be,
You can lie all you want, but don't lie in your own stink.
and you see a big pile of poo and somebody lying beside it, like,
Yeah, or maybe just somebody laying in their bed, just kind of like sweating, gross.
that's true. Yes.
It's like a cup of ramen, like a cup of noodles, like dribbling out of their face.
We might have something we want to put up on Amazon and sell it.
our Etsy shop.
All right. Well, you could do it on Amazon too. You could just
Okay.
open your own shop. They'll even do it. They'll drop ship. So you basically, every time you sell a T-shirt, Amazon will print it for you, and we don't even have to have an inventory.
But there you go.
There's a way to do this. We'll talk
Okay.
offline. Yeah.
So I felt the agreement was we hit our 30th episode, we would promote ourselves a little bit more. Maybe at our 50th, we'll sell our first piece of swag.
Swag, and that will be the tagline. Yes. Yes, I like it.
Stay with us. Stay tuned for episode 50, where we start selling swag.
All my family will get that T-shirt for like the holidays. Yeah. Like, what's this? I would give it a. Would I give that? I'd give it a 3.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3.
I did write it this morning.
Well, hey, getting into my territory. Yeah, I'd give it a 3. It's definitely an eye roll. Like if I told Howie that, he would get it and he would roll his eyes.
That's kind of how I imagine one saying it.
Yeah.
So it's like, did you clean your room?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Look, and you know they didn't. You can lie all you want, but don't lie in your own stink.
There you go. That's good. When you set it up like that.
Don't,
Yeah.
Howie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do it.
Don't do it because it's smelly.
Right. Yes. Or I'm going to have to tell you this bad dad joke saying.
This is bad dad joke. Yes.
Which one do you want?
Philosophy 98.
Right. Yeah. But I think it's safe for anybody, and I think younger kids would, for the most part.
Younger kids love
get it.
smells and raspberries.
Raspberries, yes. Yeah, no, I thought that's good. It's a solid eye roll esque saying / joke. Yes. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
What sounded Prince make when he put a beret on his head? Raspberry beret.
Got it. It took me. I'm not as big of a Prince fan as you and your partner are. Only because that's where you moved from.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
But she
used to live there. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's from there for the most part, right?
right
So there's a different level of appreciation for Prince
for Prince.
that I definitely don't have. So I was also one of those people that never understood when I was growing up. Like,
Well, you had the Batman soundtrack, and the Prince Bat Dance is kind of insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vastly underrated.
Yeah.
If you want to do yourself a favor today, just go watch Prince's Bat Dance. It's the best Batman out there.
So a little bit of trivia, childhood trivia for you. Let's see how good your memory is, or if you even know this.
Okay.
Do you know where I got the Batman soundtrack from?
Do I know where you got that? Well, you had it on cassette. Mm-hmm. I mean, even that I can remember that, like, that you had it on cassette.
Yeah, but
Where did you get it from? I'm guessing, so there were a couple. Did you get it from Camelot Music?
I did not. I actually did not purchase it. It was given to me. Do you know who gave it to me?
Do I know who gave it to you?
This is going to get really good.
So I get to ask two questions. Was it an adult?
Yes.
Okay, it was an adult. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it a neighbor?
Yes. You've got to know, but you don't.
Mr. Lynch. I don't know.
It was your dad gave me that.
My dad.
Hold on. Yeah, and your dad made a special trip up to see me when I had my surgery on my legs in Baltimore, or
my
my
God.
arm and my leg when I was a freshman in high school. He actually drove up to Baltimore and stopped by Children's Hospital to see me. And he gave me that cassette as when he stopped by. He stopped by and purchased it.
Did you like Batman?
Well, I mean, Batman was all the rage back then. Like
Okay.
we all had the
See, like,
we all had the
my
shirts
father,
and yeah.
like, was so out of touch with pop culture in general, but maybe it was just like it was such in the zeitgeist.
It was like everywhere. Yeah, like you couldn't.
And you did. I mean, it's still the case that we get bombarded, but I feel that then in the 80s and the 90s, it was somehow even harder to not, like Dick Tracy. I never even saw Dick Tracy, but
it was everywhere, right? And there wasn't the element of superhero was not out there like it is today. Like
no,
you're flooded with so many different like TV, streaming, movies, and you got all the, like back then it was like you got a Batman movie like once every 5 years, or
and that was really. I mean, that was even before I would say the superhero genre didn't even kick off until probably X-Men.
I would agree. Yes.
I mean, there was Spider-Man, but those still felt like they're just doing a thing.
It was a half-hearted attempt, in my opinion. Yeah. So he showed up.
Wow, I did not know that.
Briefly I remember, and I also specifically remember he was a little squeamish because he saw my cast and that the blood had like actually soaked through my cast.
Soaked through.
Yeah, and he was just like, "Oh my God, like, is he okay?" Like, I think he was talking to the doctors or my parents or somebody, and of course I was fine, but it was just I remember that to this day. So.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, he gave that to you.
Yeah, see, I was like, I wonder if he even knows that.
What would Tommy like? Batman, Prince.
He's like in the hospital gift shop, and he's like, "Oh look, there's a cassette for Batman soundtrack."
My father definitely didn't know who Prince was.
Sure.
He probably did.
Yeah,
he probably didn't know that Prince had anything to do with the Batman song.
With the soundtrack, right? Especially at that point. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
the Bat Dance. But that is so. Yeah, that's my recommendation for our viewers. Please go watch Prince's Bat Dance today as your
good luck. Yeah.
Homework.
Yeah, exactly.
Whew.
All right. Well,
wow, that's a long episode.
Well, kind of, maybe. It says 40-some minutes on my end, but we also had a lot of
pre-chatter
that will not be part of the episode. So who knows how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
But thanks for tuning in. It was a good episode 31. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about Prince.
Yeah.
And what not to do if you're feeling lazy while you're lying down.
Or what type of shoes to wear if you're harvesting potatoes and you're looking for some appealing footwear.
Or an appealing joke, yeah.
Or an appealing joke.
Yeah. See you next Saturday.
See you next Saturday.